gonna be alright. This is my woo. Don't worry, why worry about a thing? 'Cause everything is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing. It's gonna be alright. Yeah. Today is the 7th of April, and figured out so much. I was just sitting down outside the garage, started telling myself, man, I think I'm diagnosed of something that has been affecting my mental health, physical health, emotional health. I've been diagnosed of what we call MI. It's called money issues. When you can't rest, you can't eat, you can't sleep because you got money issues. Not money to sort out a bill, not money to pay for something, but money to be able to execute lots of beautiful projects. And then I started asking myself, how do I cure this MI? But before I tell you the solution I figured out, let me first tell you that it's all right. Everything will be fine, because we're coming up with a cure of MI now. So let's jump up a bit. About a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I'm gonna play the song Going on the Road, Phantom. My hands up, fat big ass blonde and a fucking big ass cigar. You know, just put on a shirt, no sleeveless, driving towards a cold evening. It's gonna be a Phantom with an open roof. I have a couple of securities at my back, while I pump out deep on my blunt, puff off the air, and keep thinking about what the companies are doing like, what the business is doing like, what family is doing like, what our goals are like, what have we achieved like. And as I think about those stuff, just drive on my own, slower calls and breathe, blowing through my mind, blowing through my body. Why I drive 160, 170 on the roads of Abuja. Then after a while, I slow down. The familiar roads, familiar cops. I remember when I was just within hundreds of millions, and now I'm in the hundreds of billions. Smile again, hit the fire pedal, draw the cigar deep, and then increase the song higher again. This particular track should be on that road. Oh, this is mine. Oh, this is mine. Okay, so let me start with what I learned today. It's a story from the past. That was when I was in a house, a rented apartment. Now, our landlord back then had this old Honda, and he would once in a while, whenever the occupant of the house, which is we the tenant, wanted to see him, he would come. But now he doesn't really come all the time because he has this lawyer, this property manager, who will happen to, like, engage whenever there's anything within the compound we want sorted out. But it's only on extreme cases, or maybe cases that involve something has spoiled, or like the sumo or something, that will get to reach out to the landlord himself. So that was this morning. I think it was within that kind 8 a.m. Some of the tenants that requested, the landlord comes in, because we're having some like disagreements within the compound. I think back then it was something within electricity supply, because at first we're not given a meter, they just connected the lights straight. So later on they brought this meter for us. So some people were having issues with the way the meter bills and every single thing, and I think most people opted out for a prepaid meter. So the landlord said, if you use your own money to get prepaid meter, whenever you're paying your house rent next, you should deduct it from there. So most people who did theirs did. I can remember then I was not even bothered on doing it. I was just okay with the estimate bills they gave, not until it started becoming outrageous. The estimate bills were always increasing, but the electricity supply wasn't. So this simply means the same, hectic, epileptic way they deliver electricity, where you rarely see 24/7. What is 24/7? If you see 18 hours a day electricity self that time, you thank God. So electricity wasn't that steady, but yet still the bill will keep increasing. Not like I'm buying new equipment. So then I started joining, because I even really joined them in all those their meeting back then. I'm always on my own coding. I need to ever get time. If you get anybody who they follow talk to them, maybe people for school and come out, I know they really put my head for their matter. But that they have to join, because the thing don't they reach where it if it affects me. So when we assembled for the meeting, and we can't see landlord motor, me self for a person, I've been shocked, because this man was using an old car. Like virtually everybody in the compound, I'm not joking, I'm not capping, everybody in the compound, we had better cars than this man. Like our car were more recent than this man's own. Both his property manager self, they use lower car than everybody in the compound. So I was part of the early bird for the meeting, because that morning I wasn't doing much, so I just went out for the meeting, sat down outside, and I was waiting for them. Like it's in many people, the many occupants, residents, so they can come and join us. While I was there, the landlord was not asking the property manager, "Are your property, how is it going?" He said, "It's fine, that is getting to roofing stage." Now it turns out that this property manager doesn't just manage the property we are currently occupying. He managed like almost 11 other properties for that same our landlord, like 11 more thereabouts. And the property manager, which is the lawyer, he had a property he was building, like he was working on. So he had one he was working on, and he still managed lots of other property for the landlord. But when you look at these people, the car they were driving were like old model cars. You remember by old model cars? I mean, like they were driving all this 1998 model car, and the other was driving, I think it was even the property manager that was even driving a more recent car then. He was driving a more recent car than the landlord. But everybody in the compound will have better cars than the both of them. And we are talking about how landlord has 11 property, and the property manager, which is our caretaker then, was having one almost at roofing stage. And then we're all tenants, Kwano. I tried that period to get small property where they like land, where I never even started to develop, but at least I get small property. But majority of us in that compound, we don't even know when we want to start building a house, or start building, or even think of start working on anything. But we are living in a rented apartment for a landlord who is a lesser car, and we had cars that were far better than his own. When I stay close to the landlord, before he left, I was not like, sir, this is your car, you don't feel like changing it? He said, he bought this car years ago, that he's not really moved to change it, that he doesn't need a flashy car for anything. The car serves him, and the car is very strong. I I can't wonder how you would get up to 11 property plus one. Okay, 11 properties or not 11, more than 11 properties, not even included with our own. No. And you dey okay with old model motor. You can't tell me say the thing they serve you, say the thing they strong. I can't wonder how your money go reach you go feel they get properties, but somehow they bothered about new motor. I think it don't make sense to me. So he started asking me what I do for a living back then, and I told him, okay, I'm a software developer and I create software, websites, tech and all that. And then he told me how he was a realtor. So he started being a realtor like for a very long time while he was even young, and started giving me some little advice. So I started telling him that like this car now he's driving now, like is it like he doesn't want to buy something new, something flashy? He said the problem is he doesn't really know if there's a need for it. So far as this one can take him wherever he wants to go. And I couldn't wonder, this man really get money through, because like if you see the way they even respect him around the community, around the area, I couldn't really wonder how the man brain they work. Now it did not make sense to me then, but of lately I've been paying attention to the real wealthy people. You hear how Jeff Bezos uses almost a Honda Accord of years ago that he got. You hear how Warren Buffett uses a very old car. You hear how Dangote tells you his favorite car is his G-Wagon and he has been driving it for years. He can buy extra cars or maybe for security protocol and the rest, but the one he drives is just that his G-Wagon, and he likes driving himself. The only when he did the country, just get to the beach with security. Otedola just loves his one Rolls Royce and one other Benz that he drives. These very wealthy people, they just want one or two cars, they're okay with it. But you now see this douchebag or those ones who want to always claim they got it all, and then get money past everybody, and then they hold the stacks, the racks and the bags, and you go see how they small money where they get, they want to overdo activity. So I couldn't really understand say why the real rich, not the ones who stumbled into wealth, why they're really very, very wealthy is because of their mindset. Like the fact that they don't really put so much thought into like impressing people. They don't want to impress people. They want people to depend on them for something. They want to be known for something. And because I'm beginning to really understand the psychology of every single wealthy person. First of all, in order for you to be rich or wealthy, you have to either provide a product, a service, or an emotion or feeling, right? Now, when I use the word product, you already understand what product is. You have to provide something people can buy, maybe a product they can use. And then if the people keep buying this product in very high quantity, large quantity, surplus quantity, you become a billionaire, you become very rich because you would sell out so good, right? Then with good management and all that, you should be raking in good bars. Now service, if you have a service everybody wants to use, let's assume you're a caterer. Almost everybody around the area, the community, they want you to come and cook for them. You're an MC, almost everybody's calling you for show. You're a musician, you're a developer, a software developer, an artist, whatever talent you have, you provide a service, a lawyer, a doctor, good. Those services, as long as people are continuously patronizing you in heavy quantity, excessive quantity, you would make enough money, you become rich, and you become wealthy. Entertainment or mainly has to do with entertainment. Those ones that can come in under emotion. You're providing a form of emotion, like maybe sports, or something that can trigger people. Anything that can trigger a way people feel, whether positive, negative, out of fear, hostile, happiness. Like you inspiring people in the church and making them, brainwashing them and making them pay offerings and doing all those things religious people do. You get very wealthy, you can afford to drive a private jet, and your members will still be happy with you. Now, every single thing involves you at least providing, something. Now, the normal people don't think about how they can make money majorly from any of these things as a priority. Their priority is usually how to stunt. Now I'm beginning to understand that stunters rarely go far. And let me explain. When you're more interested in the big picture, it is easier to get bigger. When you're interested in a quick picture to show something, you do it in a haste. Quicker to show something. What do I mean by that? Now you want to drive this latest car, right? So you want to gather up as money as fast as you can, buy this new car. In fact, your business made 200 million naira last year. Out of the 200 million your business made, you have taken like 100 million to go and buy one very expensive car. You know, you've used the remaining money to change your wardrobe. Now the only money you reinvented back into that your business now is like 50 million. The remaining 150 went into a car, a nicer furniture, you know, lots of other things that will make you look so big and historic. Only 50 million goes into maybe upgrading your business, changing the computer of your staffs, getting them better equipment. Their mouths are all bad. You know, if it's the customer care sections, their microphones are not working. You know, get them, train them more, let them go and take more advanced training. You know, create a better working condition. Maybe open up a staff quarters where you can train even more people. Maybe open up new branches. You know, maybe do things to expand the business. No, it is usually 150 for historic things. More priority on historic things than investing on the business or investing in the business. Now, the opposite goes with when you're not a stunter. When you're not a stunter, it becomes a constant thought of expansion. Now let me explain what I mean by when you're quickly, like as I said a few minutes ago, if you're so quick, you end up just, you want to make it quick, you want to buy that car, you want to make it quick, you want to stunt, you don't think of the bigger picture. If they give you 2 drawing board or 2 carbon paper to draw a house like an architect, and you're being told, I want you to first draw a house, a castle that will contain, you know, 5 generations of family. A castle with let's say 72 rooms that will contain a laundry department, livestock department, chef, cleaning, security, you know, every single thing that would be in a big mansion. Now in 1 carbon paper. Now before you know, you're requesting for a bigger carbon paper because that one might be small. Now if you get to notice, you keep drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing. Now you start putting so many things into consideration. You draw, you make mistake, you clean, you draw again, you make mistake, you clean. Now when you now versus it with just draw a 3-bedroom bungalow that mama, papa, pikin go dey and guests wey if they come. Now before you know, you're drawing it so fast, you don't return, say sir, I'm done. Now one project takes you so long to draw, the other one it's so easy to come back. Now those who don't stunt are constantly that castle building. They're always thinking of how to build their business, let it be more big, let them be able to have foreign partners. They're imagining the days they will start, they're imagining when their business will be so big that, you know, they would not be able to go to certain areas, certain part of the world, have connections with Europe, with Korea. They're already thinking so big about how they want their business to be, how they want to be able to, you know, be connected to the president, how they want to be able to provide so and so thing, how they want to have, you know, their own is within their business. Why the average stunter is thinking of how he will just expand his business small, so he can gather as much cash to stunt small. So I'm going to take out my time to even talk about this more, but let me take one step at a time. Now, talking about the secrets to that wealth, the first one is to change the stunt mentality. You can't even change it. And if you say that thing be like waiting person carry grow up. Like right now, I feel it is how you were conditioned. If you were conditioned, if you were growing up and the only thing you could think about was, oh, you know, your nice toy, how you want to show off to your friends, then you're growing up to grow up in a community where everybody gets to talk about how this person's dad is rich and he should be respected because he has money. You know, you're beginning to see segregation. How some of your friends are not laughing with you because you don't have better toys and better clothes. I don't know how, if you understand what I'm saying. But when you grow up with that kind of mentality where it's not as if it is what you possess that, you know, will make people address, which is how the world actually works, then you're not getting to socially, unconsciously be engineered to always try to prove a point to people. That consistently, even though you're supposed to be focused on building a business that should be a life that should be something that should be going generationally. You'll be thinking of how to make money for you, expand, but how to stunt more. So I think the only thing we can do to change that thing is to do what my landlord did. My landlord would constantly tell me back then, how all his friends, this is friends. And when I mean constantly tell me, I mean the little meetings I started attending, because I liked the man after them. He would tell you things like, he has one of his friends in the north that has how many houses. He has another person that owns almost half of an estate. So when I now discovered that the people he's always with, what they brag about is the more property they have. So he was no longer keen on driving the latest car, because those ones were not what they brag with. What they brag with was what is it called again? The amount of houses they have. It's more like when you go to men who are at the gym, they brag with how many lifts they can lift. They brag with how many exercise push-up they can do. The moment you stay in that environment, the next you could just get 6 packs. So when you stay close to people who put business as a priority, after a long time they will socially re-engineer you. And this is one of the people you can get close to is me. So hit the subscribe button. We'll talk some other time. I want to go do some activity. This is the gist for today. Today is the 7th of April 2021.